Hey everybody, welcome back to another I.C.G video today. And today, we're going to be talking about how Blizzard ruined one of the most popular game, Overwatch. And I really wanted to dive into how Blizzard screwed this whole game up. How Overwatch was a great game, people loved it, to now what it is today, where not as played as much, and a very controversial game where people don't really talk about it and play it as much. So yeah, let's get into it. So, Overwatch actually won Game of the Year, which is crazy, because most online shooters never win Game of the Year. But Overwatch was a great game, a fantastic game where the community came together and played this game, and people loved it. And that's why it got voted and won Game of the Year, which is very, very, very unlikely for online shooters. But since Overwatch won Game of the Year, it was a great game. But over the years, the game has slowly fell downhill. Overwatch really thrived in 2016, 2017, and 2018. People love this game, but the more that happened to the game, the more updates, the many more things that happened to this game over the years, people just stopped playing it. It was never its past self. So Overwatch started to hit a huge decline. There's many reasons to the Overwatch decline, the massive Overwatch decline. And there's a bunch. There's community, repetitive gameplay, the balancing issues over the heroes, and just the lack of updates and the false updates of what Overwatch 2 provided. And the players hoped to get this PvE from Overwatch. They said they're going to get PvE from Overwatch 1 and give it to Overwatch 2, but they never got it. They canceled it about a year ago, and players were furious. And this is why Overwatch 2 was never near as good as the old Overwatch. And that's why people just never play it as much as they used to. So I'm going to get into it and a couple more reasons why Overwatch has fallen off and never was its past self, and how Blizzard ruined this game. So let's talk about the community of Overwatch. The Overwatch community is a big handful. There's many people who don't make the game as fun or make the game weird and completely change it. And people have a huge bias against this community, and they really don't like it. And because many things go on with this community, and it's definitely not one of the greatest. People are toxic, and people do pretty bad things in the game, and which leads players away. And the Blizzard, they can't really do nothing about it, but it's also just a huge problem, and Blizzard never really care. That's the problem, and the community has kept being worse over the years. Of course, there's always good people, but there's a lot of bad people in the Overwatch 2 community. Now, Overwatch has a huge repetitive gameplay. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Even with these updates, it will never be as good. And it's always repetitive. That's why I think people dropped this game as well. And Overwatch fell off because Blizzard it was always repetitive. And it made people, go away from the game and not play it anymore. Because it's the same thing. It truly is the same thing over and over again. And it's frustrating. People have to deal with this. What's also frustrating is the huge balance issues Overwatch 2 has. Overwatch had it in general too, just normal Overwatch. But the balancing issues is a giant problem in Overwatch 2. It was a problem since the game came out to the game now. Blizzard could always never fully grasp and get these heroes into balance. They never can. Someone's always so overpowered and usually ruins the game. And that affects the players. That's what makes people not want to play it, because this character is overpowered and everyone's playing it. And it's just a huge problem that Overwatch 2 has had and still has even to this day, and that's why it leads people away and how Blizzard couldn't handle it correctly. The last thing I'm going to talk about how Overwatch was ruined by Blizzard is the false updates and the lack of updates. I talked about it earlier in this video, is that PvE was promised to come to Overwatch 2, but since they promised PvE and couldn't deliver, they got many fans hyped up for PvE. Oh yeah. But since they couldn't deliver, fans were mad and they were outrageous. Is because Overwatch 2 was supposed to be special. It had this PvE that was supposed to make the game completely different, but ruined because Blizzard couldn't do it. So Overwatch 2 is practically just the same game as Overwatch 1, but it's a little worse in my opinion. So, and just the lack of updates in general, Blizzard just couldn't handle it. And of course the game is getting updated still, but the lack of updates made people completely drop the game, and Blizzard ruined it, in my opinion. They could have done many things, but it just got ruined and left in the dust. And Overwatch 2 will never be its past self of Overwatch 1. And that's why Overwatch 2 has just truly fallen off and got ruined by its own company. And that's it. Overwatch 2 is just left without many people playing it as much as they used to. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support that this channel has grown and channel has got, and I thank you guys a lot. I know I haven't uploaded in a bit. I was pretty busy, and I'm still busy because school is starting back up. But I just want to make sure I still provide videos for you guys so you guys can watch my videos and hear my opinions out on these topics. And I want to hear yours. So if you have any opinions about Overwatch 2 and how you think how it fallen off, or do you think the game is still doing all right and still doing well and not as bad as I was kind of explaining it, because I think Overwatch 2 has almost completely fallen off and Blizzard kind of ruined it. So, but in general, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.